I thought this was super interesting and I wanted to share it right away. Hi, it's Maria Quattrone, and I read something the other day that right here. I thought it was super interesting, and I never heard this before. Okay, and I'm going to share some things with you. So I'm going to read from here. So there's a shift. There's five different exponential shifts coming, and number two of these five shifts is this is the last stage of the 18-year economic cycle. Many proclaim a crash and recession are coming, but not this year. You cannot have a real estate crash when there's not enough real estate to go around. But history shows that 18-year boom and bust cycles for the last 200 years in real estate. Right now is like 2003 and 2004. A boom is still brewing. Economies crash within plus or minus of 1 year of the completion of the world's newest, tallest building. That's because a project so ambitious only gets done during a bubble. And by the time the structure is complete, the bubble has popped. Market crashes 1929. Empire State Building opens in 1931. Sears Tower opens in 1973. Bubble burst in 1974. Market crashes late 2008, and the Burj Khalifa opens January 2010. Why am I connecting some strange random things like the world's tallest building to an economic crash? It's very, very simple. Nobody, and I mean nobody, erects the newest, tallest building in the world except in a real estate bubble. It requires crazy, crazy optimism and easy credit, which is what we've had for the past many years, to launch a project that is that massive. There's a name for this. It's called the Skyscraper Index. Bill Anderson made this case in their model of an 18-year real estate cycle. What goes up must come down. After every single bubble comes a crash. So, guess what? Saudi Arabia's 1 kilometer building, the Jeddah Tower, just returned to construction. It was sold for years. It was done. But it just came back into construction in September of last year, and its estimate is to complete in 3 years. The crash will happen very soon before or slightly thereafter. So, real estate, not Wall Street, is the foundation of our economy, and when it goes down, everything else goes down with it. So, what's the point of the story? You got 3 years to make your money, 1,100 days. 1,100 days to save all the cash that you can so that when things do shift around, you're ready to buy up businesses and buy real estate for a lot less than you can buy it today. So 1,100 days to make as much money as you can. Clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. So there will be a lot of people that make a lot of dinero in this upcoming time. But know this, it's coming. If you look back 200 years, I actually studied this morning. I looked back to 1901, and I saw as each of these skyscrapers went up, then the market either crashed right before or right after, within a year of that. So that is, I don't believe that's coincidental over 200 years. And I only look back to the 1900s, but these smart gentlemen look back over 200 years. So that's something a little bit different to wrap your head around. But we are coming off of quite some time, and I had just entered into the industry in 2004 in real estate. And in, gosh, I think another week or so, it will be my 20th year anniversary. Need to get that date. So I haven't looked at that. But I do remember 2004, and it was pretty busy. I remember my first year, I started in my first sale March 31st. And that year I closed 17 transactions. I had 17 sides, and I also still was working in the radio industry. I was an account executive selling advertising time. So I had a dual career until February 2005, but I remember it being a very busy time. And in 2005 was a very busy time. And then in about mid 2006 to the end of 2006, I start to see a lot of inventory come online, more than I had seen. And I kept watching it every day. I said to my broker at the time, look at this inventory. This is crazy. There's more and there's more. It just keeps flooding in. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm watching. I'm looking at the market stats. I'm looking at the absorption rates. And by the end of 2006, I would tell sellers, listen, please trust me. Please trust me. It is coming. And you need to get ahead of this and make the price a price that's going to cause it to sell, because you're already expired off the market. You don't want to be stuck going down. It's exactly what happened. I saw it. I was only in the business for a few years, but I knew math. I knew numbers. I understand absorption rates. I understand that the more inventory you have, the longer it takes to absorb, the more that comes on, prices are going to come down. Supply versus demand. Basic things. But a lot of people, they don't look at it like that. Anyway, I did. And I saw that. And by 2007, a lot of people were in a lot of trouble. The market hadn't even crashed yet, but it had, if you were boots on the ground, which we were and are, we already saw it before it was happening. And in fact, when we were getting out of it, I already knew we were getting out of it. I could tell you exactly when it was. It was April of 2011. And that's when I saw the amount of opportunity of buyers coming into this market. I saw them coming from the suburbs, the empty nesters. I saw them moving from other places. I had a lot of new construction projects at the time that I was representing. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Jabbar. Thanks for being here with me today. And I could see the trajectory right then and there changing. And that following month, I think we sold 11 of our new construction project houses. And I think we did about 30 pendings that month, 30 new sales. It was quite an amount of business. And I knew right then and there, and I was telling everybody, the market's changing. It's shifting. We're starting on the uphill, and it went uphill. And until things start to slow down, April 2022, when the Feds hiked up the rates. And then we know what we saw. April, May, July, September, every other month, the rates are going up. They hit about 8.5%, 2022. That quarter was the worst quarter in real estate in 40 years. And last year wasn't that much better. But nonetheless, I'm optimistic about this year. I think that there is a lot of opportunity. I think there's a lot of people looking in other directions, not paying attention. I think that if you go out and spend the time, do the work, talk to as many people as you can, how many folks can you help? Buyers, sellers, investors, move their real estate or purchase real estate. I think this will be the year for you. But with that being said, you really got to focus in, laser focus. Laser focus. Decide what you want. Decide who you want to work with. Decide who you don't want to work with. And everybody wants to work with everybody. No. You only have so many hours in a week. And how do you maximize that hours that you have? Who is it that you want to work with? And then the other people, you have to say no, because if you say yes to that, you say no possibly to something that's better for you, something that's bigger, something that's going to be more satisfying. We can't say yes. I was not arguing, but I had a potential customer. She had a couple shells in Philadelphia, and she wanted to put on the market for $85,000. And the lady is not listening. I'm like, they're not going to sell for that. She's like, but that's what I want. I said, you could win $1 million. It doesn't matter. What matters is they're worth like 70. And I got to have to get off the phone with her. I'm like, this is too much brain damage for me. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to argue with people. If you don't want to listen to me and my expert advice, then I don't know what to tell you. Somebody else out there can help you, but it ain't going to be me because I'm not going to beat my head up against the wall. I'm not going to spend $1 or one dime listing a listing that's overpriced. It's never going to sell. And and those properties are difficult. So I'm just going to keep going on. And I said today, you know what? It's easier to sell commercial building for $1 million than it is to sell somebody that's unagreeable and that just wants what they want and don't want to listen. So no more time for that. I get to choose. That's a beautiful thing in life. And you get to choose. You get to choose what you want to do, who you're going to do it with, who you're going to partner with. We get to decide. We are not a tree. We can move. Meaning, we get to decide what we want to do, and you get to decide. So, my friends, check into the Skyscraper Index. It's really so cool looking at this information. And so I follow a lot of different people. This is one of my people I follow, Perry Marshall. I'm getting his different stuff in the mail, and I read all that stuff. I read all of it, pages long. And this month he wrote about his personal life story. And I think I understand why he wrote about that. And it was very vulnerable. But I appreciate it a lot. Gave me some ideas for Be the Solution, the book, coming soon. Don't know when yet, but when I decide when that'll be, I will let everybody know about that. But I'm excited for that. And thanks everybody for joining me tonight. Keep on rocking, be consistent, do the work, be disciplined, and love on people. Because, that's what God wants. He wants us to love each other and care for each other. So even your enemies and your haters, love them more and harder. Have a great night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this message tonight.